Hello everyone, you're welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'll share with you how to draft and cut different types of trendy necklines. I'm going to share with you how to identify a neckline that is most likely to gape and how to prevent gaping. This is going to be a beginner friendly tutorial. So if you're interested in all of this, please come with me and let's get started. The first neckline on my list is the Queen Anne Scallop neckline. In order to cut this, I'll take a neck width of 3 inches and a neck depth of 9 inches. Then at that 9 inches, I'll go in by 4.5 inches. Then I'll connect that 4.5 inches to the 9 inches neck depth. Then from that 4.5 also to the 3 inches neck width. Then from this side of the neckline, I'll go up by 3 inches. Then I'll mark. I'll connect that 3 inches straight to the center front this way. Then I'll take my tape now and divide these lines, this 4.5 that I have, into 3. 4.5 divided by 3 will give me 1.5. On to this second line now and measure what I have. On this second line I have 4 inches. I'll divide the 4 inches by 3. I'll mark what I have. Then at this side of the neckline again, I'll come up by 1 inch. Then I'll connect using my French curve from this point here to this center front this way. I'll also come to this 1 inch above the neck depth here and connect it to this third dot here this way. Then I'll connect from this second point here to this third point here this way. If I cut it this way, it's going to be sharp, so I'm just going to come down by 0.25 and blend with a nice curve this way so that that part won't be sharp. And that's all. Next thing I'll do now is to cut it out for you to see what it looks like. While I cut, please pay attention so that you'll be able to cut yours also this way. My neckline is out. As you can see how beautiful it is. The next neckline on my list, I call it squared Queen Anne neckline. I'll take a neck width of 3 inches and a neck depth of 7 inches. Then at that 7 inches neck depth, I'll go in by 4 inches. Then I'll connect the neck depth to that 4 inches. Then from that 4 inches to the 3 inches neck width. After connecting to the neck width, I'll place my tape on this side of the neckline and mark the midpoint. At that midpoint, I'll go in by 0.5 inch. Then I'll connect using my French curve to get that nice curve around the neckline area. And this is what my neckline looks like. As you can see, it's looking really beautiful. So I'm going to cut it out now for us to see what it looks like on. And after I open it up, this is what it looks like. For this 4 inches neck width here, there will be no need for me to tighten the neckline because it won't gape this way. But if you want it open more than this, let's say I want my neck width to be wide like this one on the screen here, I'm going to pick about 5 inches or 5.5 or even 6 inches width here. And then I'll go ahead and extend my neck width to that measurement. Then I'll connect from my new measurement up to my neck width this way. Then I'll cut it out for us to see what it looks like. And after I open it up, this is what it looks like. And for a neckline this wide, is most likely to gape. So in order to prevent that, I am going to tighten my neckline. How I'll know if my neckline will gape or not is any neckline that is wider than my dart line is most likely to gape. So I'm going to tighten this neckline now from my dart. So I'll go ahead now and close up this pattern this way. In order to tighten this neckline now, I'll extend this dart line to my neck depth this way. Then on this neck width now, I'll take out 0.5 inch. Then I'll extend from the dart leg to the 0.5 inch this way. In order to close that up, I'm going to open up my dart now. Then I'll fold in this 0.5 inch I took out at the neckline this way. So I'll fold this part this way. Then I'll close it up to the next line. Once I'm done with that, I'll use my tape to close it down this way. Go ahead now and cut off this excess. Once I'm done with that, I'll open up the neckline so that you see. As you can see, our neckline still have the same shape, but this time around it's no longer going to gape again once we transfer this pattern to a fabric. And I'm just going to trim off any unequal parts of this pattern. Please let me know which you prefer in the comment section. Is it the wider neck width or the smaller neck width? The next neckline on my list, I call it the curvy asymmetric neckline. In order to cut this, I'll open up my pattern this way. Then I'll mark the midpoint. From the midpoint, which is the center front, I'll go out by 4 inches and also come out by 4 inches this way. At this midpoint, I'll mark my neck depth of 7. Then from this 7 inches, I'll go in by 5.5 inches this way. At my neck depth on the midpoint again, I'll go out 5.5 inches on this side. Then at the midpoint on this side of the neckline, I'll come up by 2 inches. I'll mark. At this midpoint of my neck depth, I'll come up by 3 inches. I'll go ahead and connect all my points together. I'll connect from my neck width of 4 inches down to my neck depth here of 5.5 inches. Then I'll create a curve around this area. Then I'll come to this side and connect from my 2 inches above this neck depth to the 4 inches neck width. Then I'll connect, creating a curve from that 2 inches up to the 3 inches above the neck width here. Then I'll now connect from that 3 inches down to this curve. I hope you see what I'm doing so far. So if you do the exact thing, you get the same result, and this looks really beautiful. Looking at this neckline, if you remember what I told you, it's going to gape because it's wider than my dart leg. So in order to prevent that, I'm going to take out 0.5 inch. Before I close the allowance I took out at the neckline, I'll first of all cut out the neckline. Please pay attention to how I cut it so that you cut yours also. Now that I'm done cutting, I'm going to close up the allowance I took now. I'll open up the dart this way. Then I'll close up what I took out this way. Then this is what I have. And if you want this part to be curvy just like the one I have on the screen, I'm going to use a French curve to connect from this depth here to my neck width, creating a nice curve at that area. Then I'll cut it out. The next neckline on my list is the unequal neck width asymmetric neckline. In order to cut this neckline, I'll open up my pattern and mark the midpoint. Then from this side of my pattern on my shoulder, I'll come in by 2 inches. Then from the other side, I'll come in by 3 inches. Then at this side of my neckline, I'll come down by 7 inches for my neck depth. I'll come down by 7 inches or 6 inches. So I'll go with 6 inches for this neck width. Then I'll connect from these 2 inches at the side. Go ahead now and cut it out for us to see what it looks like. And here it is how I love this neckline. The next neckline on my list is the curve equal neck width asymmetric neckline. Unlike the last one, the neck width was not equal. This one, the neck width is equal. I'll open up my pattern and mark the midpoint of my pattern. Then on each side of the midpoint, I'll go out by 4 inches. And from this midpoint, I'll come out by 4 inches here. At this point, I'll determine where I want my asymmetric neckline to face. My neckline will be facing this side, so at this point, I'll mark a neck depth of 7 inches. Make it 6, you can make it 8 inches. It all depends on how deep you want it to be. I'll go ahead now and connect my neck width down to my neck depth. Now this depends on what I want. If I like, I will connect with a straight line, and if I want, I will connect with a curve line. This depends on what I want. And if you're trying to recreate a particular style, you can look at the style and see what exactly is on the neckline, if it's a straight or a curved line. So I'm going to connect with a curve also here. Then I'll cut each part separately so that I'll see what each looks like. This is what the straight line looks like. So I'm going to also go ahead now and cut the curve part for us to see what it also looks like. And here you have it. This is what the curve part looks like. The next on my list is the halter neckline. In order to drag this neckline, I'll come out 3 inches for my neck width and 3 inches for my neck depth. Then I'll connect. For my neck width, I'll come out by 1 inch. Then I'll blend from that 1 inch into my armhole this way. I can connect with a dotted line using a free hand, but I'll go ahead and use my French curve this way. And this is all on how to cut your halter neckline. So I'm going to cut it out now for us to see what it looks like. And here you have it, my neckline is ready. I think this is the simplest neckline we've drafted so far today. Next neckline on my list is the sweetheart neckline. We have two types of sweetheart neckline, the deep sweetheart neckline and the one that is not so deep. So I'll first of all show you how to cut the one that is not so deep, then I'll also show you the one that is deep. So I'll take a neck width of 4 inches, and for the one that is not so deep, I'll take a neck depth of 6 inches. Then I'll go in at that 6 inches neck depth to get the 4 inches neck width, and I'll connect the neck depth to the neck width this way. Once I'm done with that, I'll look for the midpoint of the neck depth. That will give me 3 inches. Mark the 3 inches and create a curve from that point down to my neck depth this way. So I'm going to use the French curve. I'm showing you with a free hand so that you know that you can also create this with a free hand, just in case you don't have a French curve. For a deep sweetheart neckline, I'll take a neck depth of 8 inches. Then I'll connect down to the 8 inches this way. Then I'll also connect from that 8 inches into the center front this way. Then from that 8 inches neck depth, I'll come up by 3 inches. So I'll now connect from that 3 inches down into the 8 inches depth this way. So I'll go ahead now and cut out the first one. We'll see what it looks like. Then I'll cut out the second one. This is what the not so deep sweetheart neckline looks like. I'll go ahead and cut out the second one. Let's see the difference. I'll cut this part out now for us to see what the deep sweetheart neckline looks like, and this is it. I hope you learned one or two things in this tutorial so far today. Please, if you've enjoyed this tutorial so far, don't forget to hit the like button, like, subscribe and share. See you in my next video.